Hey, hey, my loves. Come on in. I'm so happy that you could be here with me right now for the energy report. Yay for us. I love you so much. I love you so much. Whether you're watching this now or you're watching this later, yays all round for all of us. Start taking your deep breaths. Let's start to tap into the energy inside of our body. I have a couple intuitive messages to share with you, and then we'll do the cards in the next video. And I'll just dive right in. I'm happy you're here. In case you've never been here before, it's me, Brigette. Love, steady life. And we're going to get a little magical today as I tap into the divine. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about today is the perversion of light codes and the over mental processing that makes us vulnerable to the perversion of light codes. So first of all, over processing things mentally is a result of trying to make sense of things that you don't need to make sense of. I'm going to say that again. Over processing things mentally means that you're trying to make sense of things that you don't need to make sense of. Take a deep breath. There are some things that are not immediately intended for your mind to grasp because your mind must first expand before it can even perceive the concept of the light code, okay? Sometimes a concept cannot yet mentally be grasped because your mind needs to expand to be able to understand and receive the light code. Take a deep breath. And so allow yourself to find a little bit of peace because you might notice that your brain kind of wants you to leave it alone. You may find that your mental body or your energy body of your mind is a little bit like, you're pressuring me. You're giving me too much to do up here. Your mind may be telling you. The need to over-process things, over-mentalize things, try and make sense of things that your brain just isn't ready to process. It's not capable because you're in a state of the grip, the mental grip, tension, resistance. You don't even mean to, right? It's coming from an innocent place. I just want to understand what's going on. The understanding will come. But first we have to feel what's going on. So what's happening is a lot of us are, for one reason or another, multiple reasons really, there are lots of influences affecting us right now. A lot of us are going into the mind for refuge because we're sensing what we're feeling in our body may create a change in the mind. So going into the mind for refuge to kind of protect you from whatever this new information is that's coming in from the divine, from within. And we can feel that this is going to change things. And so we're just like, ooh, let me just make sense of this first. Before I agree with the universe to really feel what I'm feeling, let me first see if I can make sense of this. You can't bypass spirit, and that's what that is. That's what that is, my loves. And that's okay, we all do it, it's natural. But in this moment, we need to be able to call out in ourselves the over mental processing of things, the need to make sense of things, that the divine is like, sweetie, you're not going to be able to make sense of this while you're like this. You've got to let your mind expand. So another way to say letting the mind expand, or another way, let's just say an avenue to perceive the expansion of the mind, would be almost creating a blank canvas of the mind. I want to say like mental peace or inner peace, but it just seems too general right now. I want to give other kind of visualizations. So it's almost like the mind needs to paint a new picture. And so you have to be willing to leave it alone for a little bit because it's naturally going to reorient and reorganize as needed. But the way that these light codes are going to be processed by you, the only way, is through the heart. So information may hit you from whatever portals your body is open, right? light codes are going to hit you. Cosmic energy from the divine, magic juices of energy are hitting you. Did you guys see what fell? Well, I did. And so every energy that hits you must be filtered in through the heart. Every energy that hits you must be filtered in through the heart. You do not get to bypass the heart to go into the crown, to go into the head, is really what I'm thinking. My loves. If we put this in regular people terms, feel what you're feeling. Feel what you're feeling. And don't be afraid to change your mind. Feel what you're feeling. And don't be afraid. Because it's already there. It's already there. What I can feel in the collective for all of us is it's like big energy is inside of us and we're all trying to make sense of it. Trying to make sense of it. Trying to make sense. I feel like I should keep this on actually. I gotta get more here. Why are you trying to make sense of it? Why? Oh, okay. You're trying to make sense of what you're feeling because that's worked for you in the past. Thank you, my loves. Because it's worked for you in the past. Trying to make sense of what you're feeling because that's literally how you processed things for a while, was through the mind. I want you guys to understand that in the higher dimensional planes, your brain is a computer and a satellite. Your brain will process data and your brain will receive and transmit data. But your brain does not hold divine truth. Your brain may be the thing that creates energetic geometries to open portals that allow you to access particular truths if we're talking timeline jumping. But true divine truth is only accessed, felt from within. Now I feel I can take it off. Thank you, Spirit. So, divine truth is within you. It is your own personal portal to heaven. Once you pass through the fourth dimension and you embark on the quest of embodying your higher self, as you raise your vibration on that quest of embodying your higher self, you have enough higher self embodied and your vibration clicks to a certain point where you begin emanating and existing in the fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension, it is the realm of the heart. The flavor of the energy in the air is love. Not only romantic love, because love too, in the fifth dimension, takes on a whole new umbrella type of situation that we'll talk about one day. But for now, I want to make sure that I first share with you the feeling that every one of us is over mental processing things and we're trying to make sense of things that we're not supposed to make sense of. Boom. Next, there's things here that we are probably escaping to the mental field to or from. You need to feel what you're feeling. Spirit is saying this is not predominantly emotional. The way a lot of us process energies is by emoting. But if you have an art form or another form of self-expression, trust that the energy you feel inside of you can be exercised in a healthy way that brings it more physically into your vessel rather than just in like a pit in the core of your energy field right now. It's like unexpressed energy is like this feeling of nervousness right here, you know? It's this feeling of like, I'm gonna fucking explode. Oh my God. Let me meditate on this feeling. I wonder what this feeling is. No, don't fucking meditate on the feeling. Feel the feeling. Let the energy go through your body and play the guitar. Let the energy go through your body and draw something. Let the energy go through your body and sing a song. Let the energy go through your body and do a little dance. Or invent something. Because that is the 5D energy. Because that is what being 5D is taking the feeling of love that is within you and allowing yourself to seed that energy onto your physical plane. However, That all occurs by being in communion with spirit, understanding the mind is a tool. The mind is important. But what's currently occurring is the spirit's communion with the body. The spirit's communion with the body. And then the brain gets upgraded. So right now, we're experiencing energy activating in our body. Again, we may feel this like electricity, we may feel this like emotions, but it can be expressed through our creative mind. And I highly recommend you try that out, doing what you love to express the energy, because that is 5D. How do you know what you love? Yeah, you have to be tapped into what you're feeling, right? The only way to tap into love is to first tap into your feeling body, your emotional body, which is a perception of your energy body. It's your spirit, but it's one of the interesting dimensional manifestations of your spirit that we get because we're humans. So it may feel like a feat or a task to be in your body and like being like, okay, I feel like how I want to keep trying to make sense of this and like create definitions for what I'm feeling. But if you can try instead and sit with yourself and the energies that you're feeling a little more, there's potent information coming online within you. It almost resonates as like DNA activation or like information that's been passed down through your bloodlines coming online. They come online from within you and you sense. You're going to sense this activation within you. It's a feeling. It's not a thought. And by the acknowledgement and the honoring of the feeling body, we bring the spirit into communion with the body. And then ideas just happen. Epiphanies just happen. And this is also a thing you can do short term if you ever need to come up with an idea or a decision. And you're over mentalizing. Return to the heart. What is the thing you love to do? Start doing that. You'll raise your vibration. You get access to more options, to more solutions. That's the benefit of activating the feeling body and respecting the feeling body rather than being inconvenienced by your own soul. Okay. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, your guides, my guides, they're like, geez, man. You're really hard on yourself there, aren't you? You're real hard on yourself there. Just because there's some energy inside of you that you got to define it and put a really negative thing on it and freaking stress your brain out, squeeze that little organ up there, squeeze that little thing up there. You're a whole multidimensional soul with infinite information activating from within you all the time. That's right. It's not like my organs are thinking necessarily. There's something happening on a parallel dimensional level activating within you. Okay? Activating within you information that start as feelings. It starts as feelings. And then it trickles up into understanding. Okay? You might have to put words to it. You won't be able to put words to it, right? Until after you feel it. And then once you can put words to it, then you can think about it. Okay? But first you have to feel it. Once you feel it, I promise you, you won't even notice those next two processes. Once you feel it, innately the knowing arrives. And that is the most magical part that gives me goosebumps as I'm sharing this message. Is all you really gotta do is take the first step of resisting the desire to over mentally process or make sense of something you're feeling, just stopping that habitual process and just feeling it and being there with it. And then by acknowledging it, you activate it. And all of a sudden, your mind is open and all of a sudden you have new ideas. This is how it goes. Okay, my loves? Those of us who over-mentalize and keep over-mentalizing can become victim to perverted light codes. Could become victim to needing other people to explain things to them that don't need to be explained. Going to external sources and giving their power away. And I'm going to explain what I mean by giving their power away. Some people may be too scared to feel what they're feeling, so they want someone else to tell them what they're feeling. Too scared to feel what they're feeling, or they're trying to make sense of things and they just can't make sense of it, so they want to outsource their thinking to someone else, and they want to outsource their feeling to someone else. What else do you have if you give those two things away and you have someone else feel and think for you and tell you what you are feeling and thinking? And yet, if we are too obsessed with the mental processing, and if we are adamant and stubborn about refusing to acknowledge the energy and the emotion that we're actually feeling, it may not be emotion. It may just be a sensation of electricity or energy, but it is going to be centered around this region, attention. I just can't make sense of it, and I feel this thing inside of me. I need someone else to tell me what I'm feeling. I need someone else to tell me what to think and what it means. I need someone else to make sense of this for me. Who's the closest to you right now? Who's the closest to you right now? Who is getting the most pure experience of you? You are. Baby, you are. You're right there. You know, sometimes we can outsource our power to someone else, and they're responsible and high vibrational, and they give it right back. I do that in my readings a lot, where you guys will tell me, what do I do? And I say, oh, I'm just here for the spiritual guidance. Like, it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. And you guys know, if you've had a reading with me, I've probably said that to you. So, what do I think? I can't tell you what to think. No, all I can do is inspire you to be here with what you're feeling, so you can connect with yourself into that infinite knowing. And then naturally the knowing arises, and there's no thinking needed. You just know. And that's divine truth, baby. Thank you for the confirmation in the comments. Love you guys. Okay. So, like I said, outsourcing your power is not always like a failure, because you could be going to a high vibrational spiritual person who's going to be like, hey friend, I love you. You need to think and feel for yourself in one way or another. There's so many ways to say that, right? So if that happens, awesome, you're lucky. But what about the darkness? I'm not talking about the feminine infinite darkness of the dark and light, the yin and yang. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the darkness. Oh. Do you receive those energies? That energy. Oh. There's so many words to describe that energy. What word am I going to use to describe that energy today instead of making that noise? Oh. Demonic entity attachments. Jealousy. Obsession. Those are entity attachments. Okay? Unconscious, habitual energy patterns in your mind, in your satellite processing mechanism, in your energy field, unconscious patterns that are occurring that attract particular energetic beings or entities that hook onto you and drain your energy. And so you constantly feel like you're always trying to move forward, and you're never really feeling better, and you're never really moving up. It's because the self-awareness needs to be further clarified. There's still a demon in your mind. And the only reason that demon can attach to you is because there's something in here that you're feeding it. The reason we don't want demonic entities attached, a lot of energy here. The reason we don't want demonic entities attached to our field is because when they are siphoning our energy, not only are they draining us and making it harder for us to keep our vibration high for the fifth dimension, also we are ineligible for fifth dimension if we have demonic entities on us, obviously. but also we're strengthening their realm of hell on earth in the third dimension. You know? So it's like, not only am I fucking myself over, but I'm fucking over everyone because I'm also strengthening their realm. So sometimes we're getting better at being self-aware and accountable and acknowledging when we have those draining mental patterns, right? But then we might have a moment where we're over mentally processing and we think that we need to give our power away to someone, or we think we need an external source to tell us what we're thinking and feeling. What if we go to someone who's got demonic entity attachments? Are you guys receiving the message? Oh, they're all around. Okay. So what if you go to outsource your thinking and feeling, and the person that you try and outsource your thinking and feeling to have demonic entity attachments? If those words scare you, then you just mentally replace those words with negative unconscious thought patterns. You know what I mean? Because it's the same shit. Just a different dimensional perspective. So in that case, what that person will do, because they are actively fueling hell on earth, because there's a negative entity that is siphoning their energy and strengthening their realm of hell on earth in one dimensional way or aspect or another, they will support your over mentalization. So now I'm going to speak more in generalization about what the dark does to your mind and why it's important to have a strong self-awareness practice. It's very important as we raise our vibration and as we begin to evolve and as heaven begins to manifest on earth. It's very important that we have a connection to our center, to the energy that we do feel inside of ourselves, because that is our soul seat. That is where we emanate from. So I can feel my center. I feel the energy of anchoring my energy into literally the center of my body, and I become aware of the sound of my breath, and I feel that I am truly inhabiting my body as a vessel, and my soul is my awareness. From that place, I can feel deviations in my energy. I can feel surges and depletions. I acknowledge that. And instead of going into my mind, I look around me and first see, is there something in my immediate environment that's fucking with me? And if there's not, then I go into my body and I feel what I'm feeling. I see if there's some energy that I need to express. And if there's not, it's probably some mental thing, some negative thought form. Okay. I gotta finish out this light code. Let's go, Bridget. Keep it going. So here's what the dark will do. The dark will convince you, right? So this could be perceived as the media. This could be perceived as a person you're going to for advice who has a lot of issues and really shouldn't be giving you advice. This could be a lot of different things. This could just be abstract energy and how it affects you. What the darkness wants to do is imbue your mind or brainwash you with self-doubt. The darkness wants you to doubt your ability to to think and feel for yourself. The dark wants you to think you don't know how to mentally process, so that you go to them to think for you. But then when you go to them to think for you, what they tell you is to completely avoid and be devoid here. When you go to the dark, of course, the dark is not going to give you anything that will raise your vibration, which is this. And so the dark continues to feed this. There are other chakras and other things the dark can feed, like they'll feed our fear, chakra. They'll feed our sexual chakra to distract us. Right now I'm talking about the mentalization. So just know that this is one experience of this energy. So by outsourcing how you think and feel to the dark then brainwashes you with self-doubt to where you do not trust yourself. And also, you do not feel that you feel that what you're feeling inside of you is wrong. And then you try and make sense of it. And then you go out. And then you ask the dark for clarity and to make sense of it for you. And then the dark, again, gives you more confusion. So eventually what the dark wants to do is the dark wants you to burn out your mental processor. The dark wants you to burn out your mind. So you're overwhelmed by this thing that you're being shamed by your brainwashing of the dark. You're being shamed by this, and you're being shot into here to over mentally process. This is going back to the first message I was saying. People that are over mentally processing, it's predominantly a result of brainwashing from a multitude of sources. We won't go into the sources. So the dark pushes you into this place where you're over mentally processing. That's where I come in and I gave you this message. But let's keep going with the message. Okay, so the dark convinces you, right, to have self-doubt and to not trust your mind and to need to outsource to them. And then the information they give you is like, what? But then this means that, and then this. And your brain short circuits. And your mental processor short circuits. And then you're a fucking zombie. And then you just give all of your sovereignty away. All of your thinking and feeling immediately goes over to them, and you are a zombie. And your mind is being siphoned, and your energy is being siphoned, and you are a pawn of the dark. That is the danger, the spiritual danger of being too mental and trying to make sense of things that you're not ready to make sense of, because you're ignoring what you're feeling, and you're still trapped in the brainwashing of self-doubt and not believing that it is valid to sense things and sit with that innate knowing until sense arrives, rather than bullying your mind or stressing or self-shaming because you don't understand. Sit in the beautiful, curious, unknowing and bear witness to your energy and what is occurring inside of your body and how it is affecting the energy and how it is expressing in your physical body. It is beautiful. I have goosebumps. That is confirmation. I really hope that these light codes resonated. I'm definitely going to keep this on my page. This is a message that's really important for me to get out today. Okay, I think I got it out. My loves. I might be able to drill it in a little more, though. A little more, the second part. So, if you give in to the brainwashing and you choose to disrespect your soul by pretending it doesn't communicate with you through your feelings, and you subvert to your mind where it cannot make sense of things, so then instead of going back and being here with yourself, you go out and you go to some external source that is darkness, potentially. External source to think for you. But if you put the luck of the draw or whatever, or if you're not in a discerning place to figure out the vibration of the person and what dimension they're coming at you from, if they are of the dark, then they will not help you with any of this. Instead, they will assist you in burning out your mind, and they will burn out your mind until you completely short circuit. And then they will also, while short circuiting your mind, brainwash you to become dependent on letting them continue to think and feel for you. The brainwashing just continues if you are not adamant and vigilant with who you are giving your power to. your power to think and feel. They are two separate things. We do not get to take this and shoot it into the mind and then try and make sense of it. No. So notice. Notice where you feel like you need someone to tell you what to do, because that is where you will habitually want to give your power away. And we need to be much more vigilant in this time of spiritual warfare and evolution, that what we do with our energy and our words is working in our favor. Towards the alignment of your highest vibration, your heart center. 5D is the heart center. So any source that keeps making you avoid this and burn out here, red flag. Word salad, things coming out, shoving you into your mind and making you feel confused and like kind of like hot up here. Burnout's coming. And after the burnout, if you don't get self-aware, you can just become a fucking zombie. Fucking zombie. Not thinking for yourself. Completely cut off from intuition. I don't feel that for any of us, but I do feel that I needed to give the warning message. So I hope that that could resonate. I hope that that helped. I feel a lot better after getting those light codes out. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. And I love you guys so much. So I was just telling Spirit I love you so much. So thank you guys. I love you. If someone popped into your mind during this message, send this video to them. Or screen record something. I don't care. We just got to get the message out. This will not resonate for everyone. In fact, some people's dark entity attachments might convince them to have an adverse reaction to this. You get like, this video might take business away from certain people. People that you might, or attention away from certain people. People you might go to for advice. That after watching this video, you realize that you're asking someone else to think and feel for you, but you don't even like the way they think and feel about things. You are the closest one to you, my love. You know you the best. You feel you the best. You're the one who's the most present in the experience of you. And all of the disconnect that you're feeling, I don't want to invalidate that, okay? It's just that if you're feeling disconnected, don't go more out, okay? I know that the programming makes you think otherwise. If you're feeling disconnected, where you go for help should have you feel more present and more here with yourself. Start by breathing deeply and start to trace your attention back into the physical sensations of your body. And I hope that can help you a little bit in kind of reintegrating your awareness so that we can keep vibrating towards the fifth dimension and more. Yay for us. Okay, so I am going to drink some water, chill out a little bit. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I've got 3 decks out here. I'd like to give us a more specific, intuitive energy report for the next 10 days. So yay, yay, yay. I hope this helped. I love you so much.